other fun do we have? Okay, now we have sound. Yes, I know. No sound. My goodness. I don't know how people can put up with all this. Alright, it happens. What can we say? Alrighty, so right now we are looking for days. So we'll get back to what we were doing. The lights in the firmament was created for days. That's what we're looking for. Something that indicates days. Not just a day, but days as in plural. So something that seems to depict days. So you can look for like calendar, a calendar thing. I'm really looking for some nice piece of, you know, like a few. It would be nice to have something like this here. If you can see, you see that right here, this heart. Not that I want the heart. I'm just showing you which graphic I'm looking at. The multicolored rainbow type of fence here that you see, wood with the heart in it. You see that? So I want you to pay attention to the strips of wood. You see that the wood, and if there was something like that, like these strips with each one being a day, like you see the sun, and something like some of the weather apps that you have on the phone, or online, you can see like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it shows you the weather for each day like that real quick graphically. And something like that would have all the days, or a number of days. You see the sun, the clouds, or whatever. But that obviously would be something, a picture that would be split like that. That would be like perfect for what I'm looking for. Now that is a tough order to have, right? To find. Of course, it's things that someone could make if you were artistically inclined and talented. It would be something for you to create. But since I don't have that option, I need to just look for something either close to that or settle for something less than that. So that's basically what the options are. So we're going to look at what we can find here that can possibly be used for days. Of course, this is loading in all the Valentine's Day. See here, this graphic here, this picture of the calendar with the numbers on it. That is a possible candidate. You know, these are days, so you know that these are days. And with that would be fine. I don't want to use something like this cartoony graphic here of a calendar. I'd rather not, you know, because if all the other pictures like the other things, this kind of stands out like a sore thumb. So I don't want to do that. It's going to incorporate a different feel. Again, that's another consideration that you want to have in your TCG games and your cards. You want to keep a consistent feel to it, you know, like keep a same type of style if it was possible. Like if you were doing some type of game that was, I guess, soft in a general sense, you know, just for an example, and this graphic will like fit, you know, you started having quite a few graphics like this cloudy, soft, fluffy type of thing, then that's what you want to keep consistent throughout the game, to give it that feel that like this was a game that's actually put together instead of thrown together with different bits. Uh, so that's, the easiest way to have something thrown together that looks like it was put together is using pictures, because a picture's a picture. It's different things that a picture's been taken of. But when you start getting into something that's created, like this is obviously this is created, then it's things stand out as like a sore thumb when you mix and match. You remix, because you're not matching, but when you mix different types of renderings or different types of art, right? Art mediums or art styles, or what do you call that? Different types of art types. So again, you don't want to mix that. It makes the game look disjointed. It doesn't give it a good feel. So this would be nice, if we had multiples. But again, I could take this sun here and reduce it in size, and because I can do stuff like that, I can reduce it and then make a picture of a few of these suns like that, and that would be days, because obviously there's 10, 20 suns there. So this is the days card, not a day, but days. So that's another option, the calendar or this. And I already have numbers in the card set, so this could fit fine. Just like the calendar dates with the numbers could also fit equally so. So either one of those are consistent with other things I already have in the game. So you have all the days here: Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. I'm sure we're going to see Christmas Day sooner or later. And whatever other days there are. Here is the fence, the multicolored fence again, without anything on it. So here is a time schedule type of thing, but this really doesn't go into days, although it infers that days are different days, but it doesn't make it clear. So we want clarity. We want to have clear relationship, because then the card, because part of the game is being very precise. The more precise and the more correct you are in using the symbol or identifying it and applying it in the gameplay, that's where the win comes in. But if you make the cards ambiguous, then it's going to cause issues. But that'll be made clear to you later. Right now it's ambiguous, right? Because you don't know exactly what the game mechanic's going to be, how this game is going to roll out. But what I have in my head for the game, I can see that that's going to be a problem already. So it's not a good fit. A little warning: some of these photos may get a little racy at times. I don't know if I have the filters on or not. So just a heads up on that. Heads up. Whichever way you take that, I don't know. Dia de los Muertos over there, the skeleton. See, all types of days are here, but nothing that says days. Now, we can go. It has the clock in here. The only thing that messes that up, really. But something like that with the sun in it or something, it could pass. It passes because it goes into the idea of symbolism and whatnot. So that's passable. But the clock isn't. The clock sets into something else, like time, more specifically. Doing quick scans on this again. This is not your typical art. It's not your typical photo. I mean, there's no photo of days unless you're taking a photo of a calendar. So that's more expected to find calendar than anything else. This one seems like an interesting one. Has the moon in the background here. Now, I'm just going to take a quick look to see if that's appropriate here for something. Because 16, you have the moon being created, or at least being seen. Sun, the gray line, and then the moon. Though the moon is not too clear here, so... Too much of a calendar here, so again, not appropriate. Remember the other one I showed you before with the fluffy pink and whatnot? Again, this is a different piece, a different piece of art, but with using the same style, the same type of art, creative technique. And so that would be good for a different type of game. In terms of using similar context in the graphics that you're using. Not appropriate for what we're doing. I suppose that, now that we're looking through this, I mean, for those of you interested in creating games and you need ideas, this is a good idea starting type of activity. What I'm doing now, I'm looking actually for a certain art, certain piece for a card. But if you're looking for an idea for a trading card game, going through picture galleries like I'm doing now can actually spark some ideas for you. If you look, there's certain ideas, there's certain concepts that are within, they're not intentionally there, but in terms to give you that idea, but you can get ideas by looking at other pieces of art, photographs, whatnot that we were looking at. You can get some ideas. um, because if you see certain pictures and you can pull things together, pretty much get a few ideas of games that you can create. And this is for any type of game, not just for TCG games, by the way. You can use images. Images are really great. They can really spark some concepts, some conceptual ideas for you to create a game around. You know, they give you an idea that you can create a game around it and develop from there. So it's actually a good exercise that what we're doing. I mean, there's ample stuff for Valentine's here, right? There's love. Love is a big theme, and stuff like that. You can create a game around love, or aspects of love, this and that. It would be great. A great idea. You have different things. I mean, you can create. There's so many pieces of graphics and art and pictures that you can use. You can create a pretty interesting game on the topic of love, and just about any topic you want. And looking at the pictures themselves gives you certain ideas. You can start formulating the game, how you want it to play out. Here's the moon for the. I'm going to capture this while I'm here. I'm pretty sure I have a moon already, but while I'm here, I'm just going to take the time to get ahead and stay there. Now, I only use a free account because everybody wants a nickel and dime for every single left and right twitch of a finger. You know, we're not like that, you know. So and now the moon card is the lesser light, so I'm going to do that for 16B. What I'm doing is I'm saving these. I'm in the wrong folder here. I'm saving these TCG assets, and then we have Symbolum. So I'm saving them with the Bible text reference. See, the folder is Genesis 1. It's on Symbolum. So I'm putting first the number of the text, 16, and then the letter of the, which this is B. So this is 16B, and then what it is the moon, and then I'm just going to save it like that. So I'll use that. I'm pretty sure I have another moon already, but I'm just well, I see it here, and I will just load it in. Wow. As I was saying, that you can get pretty much, you can make many games, and there are so many ideas simply graphically. You don't have to use the graphics. They can just give you ideas. You do your own, of course. And now in the world of NFTs, you want to do something that you do yourself, modify yourself, so that as an NFT, you can add value as an NFT to your game. But you know, you get ideas here. You have trees, you have fireworks, years. The new years. You can make a New Year game. You just have, there's just all different types of ideas. There's ideas here, endless ideas. You got vegetables. You got fires. You can just go berserk here. Flowers. The flower game. And you think, well, who want to play a flower game? But the flower is just the graphic. That's all it is. It's just a graphic. If you make a very interesting, challenging game or intriguing game, there's different things that appeal to people. Intrigue, thinking, or play acting, or there's different types of games. How people interact with games. So you can create a whole different types of things with the weirdness of graphics. That you would never have thought of, that you can make a game. Who would think of making a game out of flowers? A flower trading card game, for example, to keep it simple. Who would think of doing that? That's actually a very good idea. Very good idea. Again, you have to be able to make something make sense, but still, I can give you guys $1 million idea. You got to sit down. You got to think about these things. Then you want to think about commercialization. Oops, I let it out the bag, didn't I? Oh boy. Yeah, you get a few good gems in here. When you come and watch my boring shows, you can become a millionaire. The thing is, you need the brain. I have my brain. But the viewer needs to have a brain. See, because I let things out. It slips out every once in a while. So, you got to come and dig. It's gold here. You got to dig. I can't do everything. I can think of everything. See, I can think of everything. I can't do everything. I try, but I can't do it. Look at all those beautiful flowers. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love looking at all this stuff. All this stuff to me, it just means money. Money, money, money. That's all you're looking at right here. Money, money, money. Oh my goodness. Here's the sun, one sun. Again, same idea that I can take it and create my own picture of a couple of those. Looking for a hint of days in that church clock over there, but that's the moon again in the blue sky again. Another option. Another thing I could tell you guys, that a lot of the ideas that for games, I'm gonna make a correction here. I'm sorry. We have to make a correction here on this camera. One moment. That's supposed to be 920, isn't it? Deactivate and activate. Yeah, okay. There's obviously, there's a, this is acting like this thing used to do before, right? And having an issue with when I changed the scene. So sorry about that, we're having slight technical issues. from the old days. So it looks like I have to go through this. I'll figure out again what was the issue that was causing the camera to shut off when I change the scene. But I'll try to. Hopefully it'll come back to me as I do this broadcast today. But a lot of the ideas, there's millions of dollars. I'm not, I've got to tell you the truth. What we're looking at here are millions of dollars in game ideas. The issue is, as it is always, do you have the knowledge to combine with what you're seeing on the screen, all these images, in order to create something? That's the bottom line. So that's the reason that most people that have problems creating games can't get some inspiration for it, because they just don't have the information. See, that's why I always tell my kid, I tell you to read, there's a reason. Reading, because you need to expand your mind. You have to expand your mind. You can't have like a closed mind, a very narrow band of knowledge, because what you're doing when you have a narrow band of knowledge is that you're closing up your options. Creating games, becoming being able to do this, you need to be expansive, because you need to be able to draw in from a wider expanse in order to be creative. You can't be creative in a narrow band. You're very limited. So this is the reason. That's why it's not just like education. It's not only like going to school, because I know a lot of you guys have schemata about education, going to school. It's not just going to school. That's not the point. The point is, while you're in school, why is school important? Because school affords you the opportunity to expand your knowledge beyond what the school is teaching. What the school is teaching you is a basis, a catalyst. It's giving you what you need so that you can expand your knowledge. The school doesn't give you this. That's what you're thinking. You think you're going to school to get this. The school can never give you that, and will never do it. The school can only give you this. Okay? And a lot of people stay with this. They go to school and they stay with this for all their lives. A lot of you are like this. And the other guy, the ones in the back who are spitting balls all day long. And then that's all you have throughout life. And then you're saying, I wish I could do something. Everything's passing me by. 'Cause that's all you're working with. Right? The purpose of going to school was to give you this, and with this you can get this, and keep going this way as you grow older in life. So if the more time you waste in school, or that you wasted in school, the more work it is for you to start to try to to expand in your world, your ability to create. So that's the thing. School was supposed to give you a catalyst, and you were supposed to do this even before finishing school. You're supposed to do this. School was supposed to be easy. It's an easy thing. But you guys make it, it's tough, it's bad, this is miserable, right? Because you want to live your life without the basis of knowledge you need to really be creative and to create your life and to expand your world. You're fighting it. You're fighting it all the way through. And that's the sad thing of it all. You limited yourself. You limited yourself. Simple as can be. when it has nothing to do with finishing school at all. Nothing. You don't need to finish school. You don't need to go to college. It has nothing to do with that. As soon as you're able to do this, you don't need anything else. You really don't need to go to school. You don't need to finish school or finish college. You don't need to. But you need to do this. That's the thing. Because people, you don't need school to be successful. You need this to be successful. Okay, and the road to success is not 1, 2, 3 either. A lot of people get confused. And success isn't the same thing for everyone. Success is different for each person. And just simply, it's like looking at these flowers. You think this flower is the measure? I'm sorry, you're not seeing the screen. Let me show you the screen. I'm going to show you an example in nature, because you got to understand things naturally. In nature, I'm just checking something. For some reason, I'm trying to figure out why we have this issue with the camera still. No, I see. It's probably okay. Let me just get rid of this. I'm going to reset the camera here for you guys. So it could be that that's what needs to happen. This one wasn't updated, so I'm going to use, I don't know which one is that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do that. Should be the one to use. So this may fix it. If not, we'll try again. All right, so for example, taking this flower. See, let's think that this flower here is a person, right? And is successful. So people think that you have to be like this flower to be successful. You have to be like this flower, but every flower is different. You don't look like me. It doesn't look like this. It looks different. But that is successful as well. That flower is successful. It is doing what it was supposed to do. Simply, there's different types of flowers, right? Here's another one. This one, okay. Here's a different one, right? This is a different one. Everything the flowers are different, but more or less, each one is successful. Here, this one. This is different. It doesn't even look like that. Man, this guy, this flower, is a nice car, nice this, and then, and this one is this little thing, this little petiteness, and whatnot. It's different from this one. Not as big, not as fancy, but it has its own qualities, and it is successful. It has done its full success here. Okay, so people have a misconceptualization what success is, and really you shouldn't be looking at what a person has or what the situations are. It doesn't matter. We all go through things through life. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you are expressing yourself to your maximum, and that is beautiful. That is what beauty is. That you're expressing yourself to the maximum. And again, anyone that's doing things, you see, that's where when you start doing things like taking drugs, right? You're doing something, you're adding something to yourself that is not natural to you. and that you don't need medically, because some people need stuff medically. Medically speaking, including mental health, you need to have it, right? But if you're doing other things that you don't need medically, you're messing up your success. You're simply just messing up your success. You're not doing what you need to do, and you're wasting your life and your time. I need it. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. Then do something that makes you feel good. But the smoking and taking drugs or smoking weed, that's bull crap. It's silly nonsense. Taking drugs, but to feel good, it's stupid. It's always stupid. Simple as that. Find something to do. Be creative. That's the human drug you should have. It's creativity. It's called creating things, doing something with your life. You want to get high? Get high. Build a tall building. Do something, for goodness sakes. Taking drugs, it's just stupid. People just do stupid shit. I'm going to say it because that's all it is. It is shit and it deserves to be said. Yeah, we're taking the time because, again, we're looking for that je ne sais quoi. Here we have something interesting. Excuse me. I'm going to have to take a break and get my little liquid. Here we have something interesting. You see this here? Now, it has different suns in there, different suns, graphic suns. But this could go for the days card. I mean, it's different. It's interesting to look at. In terms of when you see it, you will say, well, these are days, right? Because the sun. The daylight, the sun was created for the daytime, and then you have these 9, 10 days there. These are days, right? So that actually very much is something that and just to be brief now. I'm trying to be brief with this process, but we pretty much, you can't really do better. What would be better maybe was that, like, the weather slices of the days like that would be nice to find, but this is the find. I'm going to download that because what options do I have? I'm not an artist, so like that. I do music. But this is pretty much really good, to fit into what we're trying to do. So I'm not going to complain. I was picky enough so far, so that's as far as I'm going to take it. And let me just take a look at the numbering here. This is for days, so this is 14D. Again, Genesis chapter 1 is the folder. This is verse 14, graphic D, and that's days. Put that together there. Make sure that's all we have. And we have 14D. Now we are looking for years. Years. So let's get on with it. Now, one thing that Pixabay does, and I guess with the Brave browser is that it loses its place. It doesn't go back to it here. So I'm going to try to coax it back, but it may not. And let's see if we have it. And what we're looking for is that same graphic, so we do. So when we go back in the Brave browser, it goes back with an ampersand at the end of it for some reason, and then it doesn't show the page you were previous. All you have to do is take the ampersand out, which is a little pretzel thing at the end after the page equals 28, and then you go back. Apparently it worked this time round, so that's it. So now we're looking for years, so we can abandon any more search for that. We'll look now for years. Sometimes you'll find another way of depicting years. That's quite possible if you know enough. Now, see, because that's what the symbols, the Symbolum game has to deals with. Specifically, is your knowledge and understanding. You have your typical New Year's type of thumbnails or graphics, but it doesn't give us years. We're looking for multiple years. So something that implies multiple years. And that could be something even astrological. You know, if you have knowledge, astrological knowledge, then an astrological type of graphic that has years implied, inferred in its construct would be good. For example, this is good for like the 4 seasons. This graphic here itself, I do have a graphic for 4 seasons, which is more of a cartoonish, like this. I have something like this, but this is much better. Like I was saying, I don't like the cartoonish look for the TCG, for this TCG game. This is much more appropriate now, but the problem here, right, the only question here was, is it appropriate for the time? Because at this point there are no trees yet, right? Let me see. Wait a minute. We got to check this. There are. Wait a minute. Hold. There are trees now, right? Because the trees were made in verse 12, right? Every fruit tree already in verse 12. We're in 14. So now the seasons, yes, this is very appropriate. And I am going to take this and replace the cartoonish version. I'm going to replace it for this. This is obviously, you look at it, it's the 4 seasons. The seasons. And the card would cover different seasons, different seasons and whatnot. It's great. It's perfect. It is perfect. So I'm going to replace it now. You don't see the files that I have already here. You won't be able to see it anyway. It wasn't a JPEG, that one, but this one is. So I'm going to replace the other one. I'm going to replace it with this. So this will replace it. This is 4 seasons. It's 14C. So we'll make this 14C seasons, and that's that. So we have our seasons. That's not what we were looking for, but that's the good thing about this exercise. Now here we have again the ampersand, as you see there, if you can see it. The ampersand is creating an issue where Pixabay can't find where we were before. So we eliminate the ampersand, and now we know where we were before. Pixabay. So that's good. Now we're still looking for years. Still looking for years. By the way, anyone's interested in TCG games, I do make them. I make them for you. I make them on Fiverr. I can also make one directly if you contact me. If someone's looking for a TCG type of a game for business, that you want to make some money at it, and you're going to, as a business, I have great ideas for you. So just reach out to me. Like I said, I got an idea. I can't do all. I have no problem helping you out. I'll make the game for you. You pay me, of course. Offer me a partnership as well, and you'll have a game you can run to the bank with it. Not a problem. Not a problem, yo. Hey. So, again, we're still looking for years. See, something like this, but for years would be nice. This is like time. This is like good for time, whatnot. That'll be a good thing for a time thing, but we're looking for years in particular. Something that, here you go, stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. There are so many things that can be done, so many types of games. People always buy games. They're looking for new games, new themes, something different. There's always stuff. Listen, there's always stuff. And it's just that everyone's thinking about video games only, when there's other games you can make. There's a lot of money you can be making because everybody's going into video game, like there's nothing else. There's always, people will always need a non-video game to play. It's not always video games. There are other games. There's many other people in the world, and there's a lot of games that you can make have nothing to do with video game at all, and you can make a lot of money. So if you want me to make a game for you, you can head on over to Fiverr and look for Automated Profit, one word, and look at what I'm doing. I'm doing a TCG game as NFTs there, or you contact me directly and I'll make a game for you. You can communicate with me over there and tell me where you saw the program, etc., etc. At this point, though, you should always make the TCG game as an NFT. Really, it's my suggestion. So, just doing it through Fiverr is really okay. but you don't need to do it. And especially there's some ideas that I have for you if what you're looking for is something that, to go make some money with, and it's a business. Then I have other ways of you getting a TCG, doing the TCG directly for a different way of making money, not the way you see at not NFTs and not basically that route, but as a different or as a pure game that you're just selling retailing games. If you want to do something slightly different and make money at it, you're looking for a business idea that you can have a business with, not just selling the game, but having a business with it, then you need to contact me directly. I got some ideas. Like I said, ideas I have. I just don't have time to do them all. So that's the one thing you're going to get as a benefit of doing business with me, is you're going to get my great ideas. That's a great benefit. Okay. Even something like you saw there before, and there's another thing here, like it's like a clock, but a clock that has the years. I'm giving you graphical ideas now, because I would do it if I was an artist, but I'm not. A clock that each of the minutes are years. You can see like the main years, like from 0 BC, 0 AC, and then you have different years, going up in hundreds of years or whatever that you look at the clock and you say, oh, this is a year clock, this marks the years, so, but that's the years, that's the whole idea. That would be good, but that's like you'd be like winning lotto if you could actually find a graphic like that here. That would be like, wow, because you really wouldn't expect it. It's, so. See, now this is almost okay. This is almost okay because it has the years in the back. It doesn't have a large range of years. It's basically in the starting at 55, and going up to 2018, now 2019. But it has the concept of years in that. So that is like pretty okay. I don't care much for the hand and the phone with the 2019, but it's like the thing that's like out of context. But that's pretty good. Pretty good. Can't say that. That was just slightly out of the type of thing I'm looking for. Slightly. It has the years though, so it's very tempting. That's page 12, and so I'm going to make a note of that. Notice that the page has the ampersand in the back. You see it, but it doesn't work when you go backwards. When you're going back from displaying a graphic. So I'm just remembering 12 because 12 was where we found that pretty good candidate. Not the best thing, but if we don't find anything else, that's certainly going to be what we're going to do. Here it says Happy New Year again. I can change this. I can actually do some graphic work here and change what it says here. Again, it's just like that other one. It's the years are recent years. It doesn't. I'd rather have something that goes really from the early years. You know, has a greater expanse of or range, more universal. You know, because that's the context. The context isn't the 2000s. The context is the beginning of time. So, here in a very esoteric and way, this actually, if you look at the glasses as New Year's, the New Year celebration, which is what it's being used as, then this also qualifies for the years. But again, it's out of context, right? It is the years, it infers years, but it doesn't infer the context of Genesis 1. So that's why I'm skipping those, because that's really not that I'm pretty sure we're going to find something. I don't. But I don't want to quit when there could be something. You know? Again, something like this, but that would infer years. Right now it just infers time, the clock. You know? Same thing, the time, clock. The hopes is that we find something soon, you know. But again, it's coming to a time I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have to give the kids something to eat soon. So hopefully, without this taking more years. Here's the same type of picture without the 2019 here. So I would, if anything, I would use this one and not the other one. So this now becomes our new marker, 17. See, this is very, you know, it has different, the context is minutes though, not years, but you know, it's conceivable that there would be some graphic of years depicted in some fashion. So it is fathomable. That's why I'm not giving up on the search. Because it really, you know, years is a thing, like days and things, and time. And you see people, you know, conceptualizing time is something, you know, it's artistically conceived, and inferring, you know, time goes on, whatever. And years also can be treated that way, you know, not readily, but it seems reasonable that someone would have come up with a need or an idea of depicting the years, just like you depict time. See, like they're doing here, time goes on over years, in terms of years itself. So it's not too, they had the same idea. The guy, probably the same person who did that would have, hoping, they weren't smoking too much weed, they would have come, well, I can do years this way too, and made something like that. Sometimes the human effort is stifled by all this weed smoking. Some of you guys fight that and say, no, actually, a lot of art is made of smoking weed. Weed smokers. Weed smokers unite. Wait a minute. There was something there. Let's see, 22. There was this. Where is it? This thing here. See, this has 2018. This circular one here. All of the years are 2018. Yeah. This would have been one for a whole bunch of years going up to 2018. Would have been nice and perfect for what that would have been it. I would have chosen that. But alas, the weed smoking just keeps the limitation. This is what I'm talking about. It's limited. Again, a limited range, but the concept is there. So, I'm not the only one thinking about range of years. But we just need a greater range. So you see why we couldn't finish this really during the 4 Sundays we had. This does take up some time. Finding the right assets, and we're still not, and even after these assets are found, we still have other cards to make, right? There's some other cards here to look at, and as we develop the game docs even further, there may be other cards that we're going to be making also to add to Genesis 1. We will see. These things will be seen. And just the Sabbath day alone, the 7th day, there are going to be some cards with that. And that's going to be very, very good. I just can't wait to get there, actually. Now, those of you who have followed my teachings, especially on the Sabbath teaching, you guys already know. You know what is coming. That's going to blow a lot of people out of the water. I'm going to tell you right now. See? See, even something like this, but again, the weed smoking just has it limited to 1 year. I'm going to get on. You guys look at this. See? This is the effect of smoking weed. It's right here. You see the evidence. We're looking for multiple years, a long range of years, which is not too much to ask, but all we get is this limited stuff. The guy went to school. He went to school. He finished school, right? But he's still stuck right there. We're assuming that that's the only thing they did was for New Year's. See, most people just think of the years when it comes to New Year's, but not think about ranges of years. The range of years from the beginning of time, and that's basically what we're looking for. Some things like from the beginning of time, like this. But through the years, you see a line going out, years going by. Wow, that's what we're talking about. And again, it would be easy just to take this, for example, add a straight line going across here, and then adding years from year 0 to 2020, put 3,000 there. Just simply, it's a futuristic cover. Just years. fading off into the universe here. Something like that you could add. So like I said, if I was going to do this artwork, I would take that as a basis and just create that. That would be the good card. Perfect, for what we want to depict. I'm just hoping somebody, like I'm thinking now, is not smoking weed. It has already created something like that. That's all. It's a feeble hope, but we'll see. I'll be taking a break. If I should find something, I'll be taking the break right after. If I don't find it, I'll be taking the break anyway. The kids' movie has ended, and they're following instruction, which is good for them. But I can't have them waiting around too far. They're going to play in their rooms now. But you don't want to keep them too long there. Yes, I feel like you, always searching. Okay, so you're seeing it here, folks. You're seeing it here, the effects of weed smoking on our society. This is the result. Yeah, holy, that is right. You see it here. We only think very narrowly and not expansively. We need some expansive thinkers. Expansive. See, there's no reason. This is a good example of what I'm saying here. This graphic here. Let me go there so you can see it up close. Okay, yeah, there is 2016. Obviously, New Year's. What does that have to do? You got stars in the background. You got this long tunnel. I mean, it doesn't even fit. What is the long tunnel about 2016? In space there. If anything, you should have had the different years here, BC and AC, and just through time. And that would have been perfect, right? And it matches with the stars in the background, the concept. But there's no... Here we see an example of graphics that don't fit. That doesn't fit. The creation of this does not fit. What is it? It's kind of contradictory. This is not 2016 all throughout time, all throughout space. It's ridiculous. This is the type of thing I'm saying. This is the effect of smoking weed. This is right here. I cannot express it more simply. Now I know you guys don't notice stuff like that because you live year to year yourself. You are living also just thinking like this. You day to day, like your paycheck, day to day, and you only think about year when New Year's comes along. That's it. Then it's back to the day to day. This is a result of the mind that does not realize that what you're looking at, what the background of this of this graphic is, it's not 2016. The background is throughout all time. You know, it's what I'm talking about. But yet, you went and did stupid. This is this is stupid in graphical form. That's what I'm talking. You see that? That is a stupid in graphical form. And that's what you see here. This is the things I have to deal with. Incredible. This time it worked. Going back, you see that it worked this time. So when it doesn't work, you know what to do. You take out the ampersand. Did you know that you can have stupid graphically depicted? I just showed you an example. It's someone creating something, and it doesn't. The person who uploaded it may not be the creator of it. It's, you know, I'm not implying anything, but it's just stupid. It does transmit stupidity. That's what it is depicting. No, it doesn't depict that for I'm going to say stupid purposes. You know, if you're looking for something for 2016, that is fine, but it really doesn't depict that. It's, you know, when you understand things, you can see that whoever did that doesn't know what they're doing, and the graphic itself really doesn't depict what they're trying to show. There's almost a mismatch. If it was written words, it would be bad grammar. In other words, you're not communicating. This is communicating. It's confused. What we're going to do is we're going to take our break. We're going to end the stream, and I'm going to take a lunch break so I can feed the kids and myself, and then we'll restart the stream in a little bit, about 40 minutes or an hour, depends. And then we'll get right back into it and see how much of this we can get done. Today I'll be on all day and through the night, with some breaks in between, of course, as we're winding down our frequent broadcasts. I'm still looking at a different way of getting things done in terms of the broadcasting, but things are getting very busy. Time is compressing, and I have to compress time. So yeah, so I need to do things very differently moving forward, and we've had a great time, you know, using a lot of time that we had, getting a lot of things together and ready. But it's time for launch, and it's time to move. So I have to go with what I have. And if it wasn't for COVID, it would be a different situation right now. But the COVID thing really changed things and halted my progress the last 14, 15 months or so. So things have to change now, necessarily, and it's for the good. It's for the good, but some things will suffer in terms of what I was originally thinking about and planning. Now we have to just push things out the door and get this thing to fly. So that's basically what's happening. So, and this again, all these things are good things. They're not bad things. They're good things. I'm just grateful that I had the time I had to set quite a few things in place. So that's it. Those things are done, and basically now it's flapping the wings, and something has to happen. And this again reminds me of a time when I first started, actually. So I'm basically, I know I can identify what this time is. It signifies a beginning, a new phase, which is good. So we are entering a new phase. Now what's coming down, I don't know. There could be a lot of bad things coming down, which is what I would think of anyway first. So things, you guys gotta get your things together. You guys have to have serious options, not just crypto. By the way, if you guys are in crypto, if that's all you have going, don't do that. You guys need some real world cushioning. Today's friendly advice. Real world cushioning will not be a bad thing for you if nothing happens. And if something happens, it'll be a good thing for you. So basically what I'm saying, it's the smartest thing for you to do. I just had a meeting last night with someone who pulled out of crypto mostly and is looking into getting into some real estate. So he was conferencing with me and asking questions and all of that. I was really impressed. Hispanic. That he was thinking the right way. Exactly right. I told him, you are on the money. You're doing the right thing. So don't, I told him to continue on that mind frame and get those things done. We're here in Florida. The rains are already this week. It's been all rainy, mostly. We have a lot of sun, but every day we've had rain, and Hurricane Elsa is approaching. It's interesting how you get that feeling. It's like almost like it's an early warning system naturally. How I can see how Indians who lived here, originally, and they can start, the rains have begun, and now, and possibly the storms are coming. It almost sets you up into understanding these early warning signals that the time of the storms are coming. Get ready. Be ready. So it's interesting because we've had a week of rain. Now those rains have nothing to do with the hurricane coming, but you realize that we've had a week of rain already. And you can pretty much And the week of rain, it just signifies that we're coming into the time. It happens every year with hurricanes or no hurricanes. We always get this rainy part of the season in Florida. But it just so happens. Was it a coincidence? It so happens that it's hurricane season as well. So it's almost like it coincides. We have those two things happening at the same time. The rains begin, and then it just so happens hurricane season is also here. So it's almost like if you were living here as an Indian or even prehistoric man, and you would be in Florida, you're sweating all year long, and then easy peasy, but then the rains begin. And then if you lived here, obviously, you grew up here, you would know the rains are beginning, and that means sooner or later we were going to have a big storm. So we have to be ready for that. So yeah, I can see how things work together to give us those alerts and warnings. And I think it's still the same today. Isn't that interesting? Can anybody relate to that? That you see things happening. It's almost like a signal that something else is going to go on. Have you gone through that in your life so far? So it's interesting to note. That's what I'm saying. That certain changes are not negative; they're actually positive. You need to know how to read them and understand what they mean. So as you can see, we are struggling here to find the years that we're looking for. So what I'm going to do, because we're not going to find it here, and we're going to decode this for now. I'm going to let me see that we had no problems with the cameras now. That's good. So we're going to end it now. I'm going to get lunch for the kids ready and something for myself. And then before I start streaming again, I'm going to keep looking on my own here and to see if we can move along and get this done. And then I'll start streaming. When I find it, I'll stream again for a little while, and we'll continue from then. We may have better luck with the subsequent graphics. And when we get bogged down again, I'll just take another break, basically. We should be finished with all the graphics, though, today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure that we have all the graphics today. Absolutely. Before I go on to any SPACEPERIUM today. I want to do some SPACEPERIUM as well and talk about SPACEPERIUM, but I want to get these assets done and just make sure and go over the game docs a little bit and see what other cards that I'm going to make and start formulating that before I do SPACEPERIUM. So we'll end this stream. I'll catch you guys a little later on. Have enjoy the rest of your afternoon and catch me later. Well, about an hour or so, 3 o'clock maybe. We'll see.